Embodying your feminine energy isn't just about performing being feminine, and it's also not about just thinking about it and watching videos like this, although I love that you watch these videos. It's really about being intentional every single day to get into that energy, especially in a world where a lot of us are constantly being pushed into masculine energy and overdoing and giving to everybody else. We need to be very intentional about how to cultivate the feminine energy within us. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 ways in which you can do that every single day. Hi, my name is Amanda Abeya. Welcome to this channel where we talk about feminine energy. We talk about relationship dynamics. We talk about prosperity consciousness. Ultimately, we talk about how to manifest what you desire in life without all the extra stress, chaos, and drama that most people are accustomed to. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we have coming out on this channel. And make sure to give it a like so it gets in front of more people. And I also wanted to let you guys know, I wanted to give a shout out. There's several of you who have been purchasing some of our courses and products. For example, our Hustle to Harmony masterclass. A lot of you have purchased that in the last week or so, and I wanted to say thank you so much. In case you don't know, this is a quick 3-4 hour masterclass where I teach you how to regulate your nervous system and rewire your mind for what it is that you actually desire. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can find all the courses and resources below. And speaking of resources, I very quickly wanted to give a shout out to those of you who've also been downloading our Enhance Your Feminine Energy Guide, which is going to be very, very helpful as kind of supplemental to this video today, because you're going to have a lot more rituals and things in there. And again, you can find that below. Okay, so let's talk about what these rituals actually look like. And before I get into it, I want to let you know that it doesn't have to be that complicated and it doesn't have to be super drawn out. So there's this really great book called The Surrendered Wife. Shout out because you guys recommended it to me and I finally read it. But in that book, she talks about how one very easy thing that women can do is just do 3 things every day that bring you some sort of pleasure. So it might be journaling, it might be reading, it might be a foot bath. I love a foot bath. I have a foot spa at home that my husband got me. I love that thing. Or he just put a swing on our back porch so I can swing and enjoy the view that we have from our back porch. It could be like tiny little things like that, but whatever brings you some sort of joy and pleasure and actually nourishes you. Now this makes sense because the feminine is all about pleasure, and most women are around here running on empty and not having any sort of pleasure on their lives at all because they're overscheduled, overworked, and just doing too damn much, right? So if you want the shortcut, that is the shortcut. But let's get into what some of these rituals look like. So one of them is to be very intentional with your mornings, right? So this is called a morning sensory awakening ritual because the feminine is also all about senses, right? So you're going to want to start your day with beauty and presence. Maybe you light a candle, you sip tea slowly. One of the things that I do is when I run downstairs to, feed the dog and the cat and make us breakfast, I will play beautiful soft music, or I will play some sort of uplifting music that gets me going, right, and puts me in a very good mood for the rest of the day. Another thing you might want to do is anchoring your senses before reaching for your phone. I've said this before, I don't even sleep with the phone in my bedroom. I don't want my phone anywhere near my bedroom when I am sleeping. I want to meditate first, even if it's just for 5 minutes before I get into the rest of my day. Otherwise, if you reach for your phone or your to-do list or whatever, it's like an assault on your nervous system. I want to have control of my brain before I go into the day, so I make sure to not even sleep with my phone in my bedroom. Another thing that you can do is, for some of you, you might need some physical touch, so you can actually place your hand on your heart and on your womb, take 3 deep breaths, and basically what this starts to do is that it starts helping you bring into your body and not your head. I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't know what kind of dreams I'm having, but I will wake up and my brain will be like tiki 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 tiki. So this really helps to calm me down before I get into the rest of the day. The other thing you might want to do is a feminine movement practice. Now, I have to admit, I have to get better at this, right? So maybe it's 5 to 10 minutes of intuitive movement. You can dance, you can stretch, you can shake. There's so many somatic practices you can do. You can move your hips in a circle or in a figure 8. That helps a lot of women as well. And what that does is that it'll help to clear stagnant energy, and it'll open up your body for more pleasure and flow. Because one of the things that this represents is the fact that, you know, feminine energy is not rigid. Do we need structure and do we need the masculine? Yes, but the feminine is a lot more fluid. So if we're spending way too much time in the masculine and not doing any of this stuff, that's when we start living out of our heads. That's when we start getting bitchy, for lack of a better term, right? And that's when everything seems freaking hard, right? We have to consciously do these practices that can bring us more into the feminine energy. Next one is the self-adornment. So self-adornment is actually very feminine. If you look at a lot of goddesses and things like that from ancient civilizations and different pantheons, like a lot of them were really into the adornment thing and the beauty thing, right? So one of the things that you might want to do is you might want to start getting dressed with intention, even if you're just at home. And I have to admit, I suck at this because I am such a homebody, right? In a lot of ways, my husband and I joke, it's like we're either home or we're traveling, but like in between, like we're really like homebodies. So I have to admit that I have to get better about this, especially because when we moved, I got rid of a lot of stuff that I just didn't wear anymore or just didn't feel good to me anymore, or I had outgrown, or that just wasn't my style anymore. So getting dressed with intention, doing your makeup with intention, doing your hair with intention. You can wear colors, fabrics, jewelry, scents that feel sensual and aligned. I will say that when I'm filming and things like that, even though you can't smell it, I definitely put on the perfume that my husband got me on our wedding day as a wedding gift, right? Because it makes me feel sensual. It smells really good. It also makes me feel like abundant, right, in a lot of ways. And the thing is that when you feel beautiful, then you radiate that beauty, and it does make you more magnetic. I will tell you this just from seeing this on 2 different YouTube channels. On the main YouTube channel, my husband and I run a relocation business, so he mostly does that one, but I've been on a lot of those videos. Total difference between like the beginning when I was lazy and also just didn't know what I was doing when it came to makeup and hair to now, and the response that I get from other people, right? And I saw it on this channel as well. So a self-adornment ritual, right? Like it's not another thing on the to-do list or another thing to do. It just makes you feel good, right? And what I did is I actually ended up going to take makeup classes and hair classes that my husband got me for my birthday, because he saw me struggling with a curling iron and then surprised me with some classes, and they've been super helpful, honestly. And what used to take me, you know, like an hour to try and figure out, now I can do in 25 minutes. With enough practice. The next one's one of my favorites, right, which is basically an emotional check-in or journaling. We're so disconnected from our feelings most of the day, and I will do it too, in a lot of sense, because most people are just on survival mode, so they're disconnected from how they're feeling or how they need to be nourished that day, and a lot of people just let their emotions run the show and sabotage them all the time because they're not actually checking in with those emotions. So when you journal, it allows you that inner voice to speak and be witnessed. And also, let's be real, like sometimes the emotions that you're feeling in that moment are not meant to be expressed in that moment, because you don't want to make, you know, permanent life-changing decisions based on temporary emotions either. So one healthy way to express those emotions and express them all out there and get them out of you is with journaling. And this is actually something that I do, especially when I'm feeling pissed off, right? This is something that I will do, is I will journal. I would get all those feelings out in 5 minutes. I feel so much better. And the thing is that emotions are a superpower. They're not a weakness, but we have to be in tune with them, and we have to learn how to not control them, but understand them and regulate them when necessary. Because again, right, you don't want to sabotage and you don't want to make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions, because that's how people make a lot of freaking mistakes in life, is because they're not just giving those emotions a healthy space to exist. And then finally, you want to have some sort of an evening wind down ritual, right? So what we do is we actually have like red lights in the room, so we don't have that white light or that blue light, and that helps us start to wind down. I'll read a book. You could do a bath, sensual skincare. I love to read books. That's my favorite thing to do in bed, curled up with the cat and the dog. It's like my favorite. So that's what I like to do at work. And, I might have a meditation or a journaling practice then as well. The point is that you start winding down from the day so you can sleep better, right? Now, here are some integration tips, right? Because again, some of you might be thinking, oh my God, I can't do all that in a day. I got kids, I got that, I got maybe 5 minutes. I understand. I understand. Believe me, I do. I don't have kids, and sometimes that is the situation. So I can only imagine when you do have kids. So you don't have to do all of these things every single day. You can start with the one that speaks to you the most and then watch your energy start to shift. Another really interesting technique that I think I'm going to start implementing is, I read this in I think the book is called Healing the Witch Wound. I could be wrong. I'll make sure to put the edit here. But every week, the author of that book says, I give myself like Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. and that is my me time every single week. Doesn't matter what is going on around me or how busy I am. That is the time that I give and I dedicate to myself. That is something that I think I'm going to start doing. And I will let you know how it goes. And another pro tip here is that you can stack these rituals around your morning, your midday, or even your evening. And some of them are super easy. Like if you're already cooking breakfast anyway, you might as well just play some nice music while you are cooking the breakfast. And it's just a matter of getting into the habit. So once again, right, if you can check out all the courses and all the ways to work with me below. The best resource for this one is probably going to be the Enhance Your Feminine Energy Guide, which is, I think, it's quite a chunky little ebook, and it'll give you a lot more rituals and journal prompts and things like that, and you can grab that below. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. Stay radiant, and I will catch you on the next one.